Greetings to all and welcome to the Wicked Shen Builder Competition number 3, the board game builder battle. That's right! We're making board games. And just to break the ice, I made a board game. The worst map you'll see today doesn't even pass. It's not even 3 minutes long. Other than that, it does pass all the requirements. So we'll just pretend. But hey, welcome, and thank y'all for joining. This event is not possible without a lot of people. Let's get one of them in the chat right now. It's Wicked Shen! Hello. I'm gonna try my best to remember to get everyone's faces on over the chat today. So y'all have to keep on top of me here. This is not Break the Ice, correct. This is not Break the Ice, the board game. This is Monopoly board game used to break the ice. Thank you. Clarifications always welcome in chat. Wicked, how you doing?
As the best map. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm fantastic. I've been jonesing for this competition, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you again for putting amazing things together, bringing out the best. Yeah. Always good.
I love seeing all the fun, interesting things people come up with.
I will say, the last competition, the bar was set. That fucking haunted house mansion. Oh, if you guys missed it, check out the YouTube channel down below, somewhere over here. Click the button. Go find the birthday bash builder competition. It's that haunted mansion was amazing. But we have more amazing things in store for you all. So thank y'all for being here. And don't forget, streamer prizes are up for grabs. The leaderboard is not live now. I know there's a lot of people that are latecomers. It's okay, that happens. But so this is why we have this map. This'll set everyone's minds at ease. If you're late, you didn't miss anything. You can look at this map and go, "Wow, that sucks." The rest of the maps are amazing. It's the perfect setup for today, I think.
AKA the best map.
It's the sacrificial lamb on which this ceremony will be started. Anything you want to say to the viewers, the builders, the judges, any of them peoples?
Thank you all for participating, showing up, and showing the love of building and seeing new things come to Marbles building competitions.
Indeed. The builders don't get enough love, and that's what we're all about. Cool. Well, without further ado, it's time to unleash the judges. Everyone has been speculating. A couple leaks have slipped out through the cracks. But we're going to go to the judges' booth now and see who's there and introduce them all. Let's do it. Hello. I'm here. How are you all?
Wonderful. How are you?
Doing good. I don't know why it muted Wicked Sin again, but that's okay. So ladies and gentlemen, in the judges booth today, we have 3 outstanding builders. I know there was a little talk about the qualifications of the judges for the previous building competition. But I stand behind my decision last time. But to silence the wagging tongues today, we have the cream of the crop of the builders of old and new. So let's check them out. First up on the docket, we got Fresh Brewed Tea. Some of you may remember Fresh Brewed Tea. Dabbler in the arts a while back, looking to get back into the game again. Fresh Brewed, how you doing?
Wonderful. How are you all?
Doing good. It's good times. What's your favorite map you've ever made?
There could be some channel bias here, but probably the Timeless Human Design when I first made the fan art of Louisiana Jones.
That was my first
14,
ever.
I think.
That was my first ever fan art. I have to admit, that is a special place in my heart. I think I still have that somewhere. And no, that's not why I made you a judge. But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I swear I have that somewhere. I'll have to find it.
It's actually been re-uploaded this season. It's
Oh.
a little different, but...
Oh, there it is. There it is. Boom. Where'd it go? It just disappeared? Uh-oh. Oh, It can't load it. It's the problem. It broke the stream already.
Extremely broken.
It broke the stream already. Congratulations. Judges are very quiet. Son of a gun. I turned them up so much. Oh, we're just gonna have to bump everyone up again. All right, so bump that one up. Fresh Brewed, talk directly into the mic. God,
I am already talking directly.
Okay, no, it was definitely on my end. I've bumped everyone 10%. We should be good. How we doing on the judge volume now? Everyone happy? We'll take that as a yes.
No, I was sad.
What else I got going here? Our second judge, who has been throwing the grinders a bone for, what, 10 seasons now? I guess we'll ask them. It's 24 Rocks! 24 Rocks, how you doing?
Yes, it has been 10 seasons. Well, 9 seasons technically. My first season, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
That's okay. That's how we all start. That's how we all start. Also, I found the image. Look, is that not? Oh man, there he is. Fresh brewed tea, amazing. All right, sorry. Anyway, 24 Rocks. What is your favorite map you have ever made?
Well, technically, I didn't fully build it myself. My community helped. But my favorite map is the current death map we have out there that was just beaten recently.
Ooh.
Me and my community made that together, and took over 100 attempts to beat it. So
Solid stuff. Solid stuff. Have you looked into my leaked how to upload any map sheet using hammers and portals?
I have not.
You should look up into it. Because then you don't have to run your map 1,000 times to upload it.
That it's cheating.
It is cheating,
but
that's the whole point. That's why I didn't talk about it for like 14 seasons. As soon as portals were released, I was like, oh, I could upload any map and it would be impossible.
it's Builder's own version of Death Cheese.
Yeah. But check it out. There's the Builder Quick Guide playlist, again, on the YouTube channel. I can't promote it enough. It's all good
In
stuff.
my notes now. It's in my notes.
Awesome. Thank you, 24 Rocks. And finally, our third judge, who I believe might be one of the only 5 people alive that has one of the builder skins up for grabs today. It's Charlie, the builder formerly known as Charlie's Peculiar Stuff. Charlie, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great.
Awesome. You do have the builder skin, correct?
I do have it,
That was
and I will flex
Mapmaker
it.
Melee 9, 8?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know.
Awesome. What is your favorite map you've ever done? Mapmaker Melee 4. Yusuf, thank you.
So it's actually one of the first ones that I've made, so I don't think anybody will remember it. But I made a map that was like a spider with like a full spider webs, and it was so awesome. And I so miss it, but I lost it.
I remember the clock one. I remember the alien one. I remember
Yeah,
the
it was like
demon.
a huge spider, and it was like dark.
Was the spider
It was
made out
just-
of a funnel?
Yes.
Yes! Oh my god, I remember that map. I remember that map. I would imagine if you uploaded it now, it would not work because funnels have since changed how they spawn. It would probably be a nightmare.
But I lost that map anyway, so my PC like died completely.
Lost forever to the memory. Well, thank God I can remember it. Little piece of treasure I get to take with me. All right, well, thank you, judges. That's who we got. Charlie, 24 Rocks, and Fresh Brewed Tea. 3 amazing builders worth their own weight in salt, if not gold. So we're glad to have them all aboard. I'm going to let them discuss amongst themselves in the judges' booth. So we're going to pop out of here. But thank you all again. We'll be talking with you frequently throughout the event. So we'll talk to you soon. All right. Now we are ready to go. Is everyone in? Are we all in for the worst submission of worst submission of the day? This is so bad. I am happy about the railroad. I think the railroad might be the best part about this map, and that's saying something. That's saying something. We're gonna do 60-second. No, we're gonna do 2-minute timers going forward, but we're just gonna double click this one. So again, thank y'all for being here. We're gonna get this going. For those of you who don't know, there were requirements to this competition. First requirement, you need a team. You need a team of 2. Why? Because the builds are better in teams. You will see the quality of maps, the ingenuity, the creativity of the maps is just stellar when you got 2 people cross-pollinating all those ideas. The first requirement was portals. You need at least 3 comm keys of portals to qualify for this race. Second is gates. You need at least 3 triggers. You don't need 3 gates, but 3 triggers. They could trigger anything. They could trigger bombs. They could trigger lasers. They could trigger whatever you want. Apparently, someone already blew up the Monopoly Man's hat. Yusuf and Grumpster cheating, finishing. They got the chance card, which advances them to the railroad, and immediately goes there. And that is to bring us to a very important topic as well, since we're in the realm of discussing what was required. We are not focused on a good race. A lot of times we do like to focus on the quality of the race. It's something near and dear to my heart. However, this competition is about faithfully recreating the motion of the game. So things like chance portaling you to different tiles on the Monopoly board, going around the board in the correct direction, all of those things will be scored. The judging rubric we will show in just a bit, but that is how this goes. So some of you may be going like, that map sucked, I fell asleep halfway through it. That's fine, I don't care. What matters is how faithful to the game it was. So there you go. I've said my piece, don't make me repeat myself. Alright, so the final requirement is a non-size 1 marble. That's right. You're gonna see a lot of size 2s, you cowards. I'm talking to you, competitors. You cowards. I knew it was gonna happen. But one team did go for it. Oh. Oh! Oh, man. You guys are in for a treat today. You're in for a treat today, I tell you. I tell you. All right, so those are the requirements. 3 portals, comm keys. 3 gates, comm keys. Not size 1 marbles. And then the map must be longer than 3 minutes for the first marble to finish. And 50% or more of the marbles must survive finishing the map. Now, you might see some discrepancies here today, but that is because I have asked the competitors to tweak their maps so that it will operate properly on my computer with my expected marble count for this event. So the maps will run smoothly, ideally, with what we have, and that may not fall within the requirements, but that is because changes were made after they submitted maps that did pass the testing. We were hoping to have 6 maps submitted today, but unfortunately, some very bad news befell one of our contestants. Our thoughts and our condolences go out to them. It's not good news. I'm very sorry that it happened. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, don't worry about it. But unfortunately, some bad things happened, and I'm really sorry about it. And I wish them the best and hope things get better. So that being said, we will turn on the leaderboard and get this event officially underway. 100 XP. Garbage. Garbage. So we were under 90 seconds. So that's already a 1.5 maximum. And then the minus default below that, and sorry, for those of you who don't know, we spent 2 weeks cracking down the matrix of the race meta. So don't worry about it. It's a joke that the people who get. What are we doing? We're doing local. We're doing the We're making sure the custom points are there. Yes, 4 points for joining, 20 points counting down to 1 for the top 20 finishers. So that's a first place finish just for joining all 5 maps. Boom. Easy. Done. And for those of you who forgot or are a little late, up for grabs, 30 tournament coins for first place, 100 community coins for second place, and 50 community coins for third, in addition to the competitor prizes. Can competitors race in the competition and win both prizes? Yes. I clicked the wrong button. I clicked the wrong button and ruined the moment. Yes, you can. I won't stop you. It's our event. We'll do what we want. Okay, let's get the race underway. Our first map. I'm not gonna make a Grand Prix because that can get kind of screwy. Our first map, looking at the list. Ooh, 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 ooh. Is Meekman. The advancing cautionary stop. This is the team known as the Board Gamers, B-O-R-E-D, consisting of Rolling Wonder and Meekman32. If you guys are ready for your interview, please get into the Discord if you're not there already. And we'll get this going. First, let me get Wicked Sin in the call. Is it really gonna mute you every time? This is gonna be annoying. How you doing?
Better now that I'm unmuted.
All right, yeah. So our first map, submitted by Rolling Wonder and Meekman. This is the game known as Can't Stop. For those who don't know, very interesting game. You've got an octagonal board. You roll dice, and you must advance your pieces up the columns based on what dice number you roll. There's some fancy rules that navigate how that works out, and if you screw it up, kind of like craps, you get wiped, and then the next person has an attempt. So it's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Look it up. It's pretty cool. And we'll get into this. Wicked Sid, initial thoughts on the map.
Pretty good base setup. I had to look up the board game itself because I had never heard of it. So I was kind of confused on what I was looking at first, but it ran the way the board game kind of plays and everything, and that was a good, solid build.
Agreed. All right, let me see if any of them are up for interview. Seems not. You can't get a score right now, but a talking stream chat. Great, Rolling Wonder. What would you like to say about your map? I'm gonna double check the submission, make sure there wasn't a pre-written response here. I don't think there was, but I'll just double check. Oh wait, yes, there's a blurb. I think is this a blurb? Who's this? Oh, okay. All right, so Rolling Wonder and Meekman play Can't Stop and many other board games together online, and thought it would be fun to try to make it as Marbles on Stream map for the event. They were put behind schedule a few times for real life issues, so they didn't know if they were going to be able to finish, but they did get it finished and submitted and passed. So congratulations. And I look forward to an enjoyable experience here on the stream. Anything else you'd like to add, Rolling One?
We obey.
I think they're good. I mean, I'm sure it'll let us know.
Okay.
But that's all good. All right. Wicked Sid, anything else you'd like to say before we get this map going?
Not too much. There were a little things that could have been paid closer attention to spacing wise, but I'll leave that to the judges.
Okay. I'm sure they'll get into it. We'll see in a bit. All right, folks. We're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. So get those marbles in. Again, the leaderboard is now live. 4 points for each one that joins. Up to 20 points for first place. Down to 1 point for 20th place to get them in. And what we will be doing this evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Morning for some people, apparently. We will be talking to one of our judges during the race. As we said, the races are not going to be particularly exciting as races go, but more exciting as how they perform toward the actual game. And so our judges will talk through what they thought of the map during the race, and then our other 2 judges will follow up at the end just to kind of wrap things up, and then we'll move on to the next map. And get Wicked Sin's giant scary face off of the screen for now. For this map, we are going to be having Fresh Brewed Tea talk about it, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get into that. And also, since we have a minute left, we will get into the rubric Switches are out here somewhere. If I can find it. It's one of these buttons. I found it. Boom! There it is. So the rubric. Portals, gates, and obstacles. Big points on the construction bracket. Replication of the board. How the start and finish are integrated to the board. And the texture use. Big points for the artistic bracket. And then the pathing of the marbles. How well it recreates the game. The triggers. Whether or not the triggers actually do what they're supposed to do. And the motion of the marbles. Whether the marbles actually get through the track. Big points for the functionality bracket. Again, you can check that out on Discord if you want to see more in-depth analysis of how that breaks down. But the race is about to start out here, and we're going to go over a couple things, and then once we're into the main stretch, we'll get Fresh Booty in here to give their thoughts on the map. So starting off, amazing little device right here, better than I've used. I usually go for the gate ramp into Portal. We have used a mechanic similar to this in our drag race maps, but a hole that fits one marble, and then the marbles go through hitting the trigger, which lets that one marble drop down into a portal, which puts that one marble up on the top track, which is the trigger track, and then the rest of the marbles go through the board. Now, as you can see, the marble's trying to get all the way to the end of the board. Now, in the real game, obviously, if you're trying to roll 12s, you only need 2. And then if you're trying to roll 7s, I think you need 8 or 9 or 10 or something. It's very interesting math if you break it down. A couple marbles leak it out, but usually they get scooped up by a portal, but I think Yusuf is actually going to miss entirely. So well done, Yusuf. Love to see it. Some marbles will go all the way through, and they will be at the waiting gate. Other marbles will be waiting their turn. Now, this is something I found very interesting that I didn't exactly plan for in the competition, but the mandatory use of gates and the theme of board games and the replication of the motion of the marbles through the game. A lot of competitors decided to go through a turn-based system. Uh-oh. 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 Do a deal. We have a problem. Oh, no. No, Adele, you need to free yourself. We might have to rerun this. We might have to rerun it. Take 2. Take 2. These things happen. Welcome to Marbles. I'm sure that's something our judges will be talking about. Take 2. Here we go. Get it in again. Get him in, get him in, get him in. We're going to get 2 minutes right up on the clock. Everyone has a chance to join. Get him in. Let's go. These things happen. Anyway, as said, something I did notice that was very interesting that wasn't exactly planned for is because of the use of gates and the board game and the motion through the board game, a lot of competitors decided to go for like this turn-based motion, which was very exciting to see. A lot of people do in different ways, so we'll be talking about that quite a bit. So 1 minute, 40 seconds on the clock. Get your marbles in again. Nothing happened. This is our first run of the day. We're doing the things with the stuff and the things. So we're doing the things. All right, let's get Fresh Booty in here, and we will get this going. There we go. Fresh Boot, how you doing?
And pretty good.
I forgot to warn you that I was grabbing you. My apologies.
All good.
So your thoughts on this map? What do you got for us?
I mean, right off the rip, I know that this is probably a game that some people aren't as familiar with, but they absolutely nailed the aesthetic of the orange octagon, the numbers, the squares, stopping the marbles on the game board, like you were talking about with the turn-based. Like, that was really well done because, like, it's a press your luck game. So if you don't want to press your luck, you can choose to stop 3 or 4 squares down. So the fact that the marbles stop at different positions, I thought was a really clear showing of the game and how it's played.
Much agreed, much agreed. And I do like that it's staged. So you'll see through the trigger marble, there are a couple different triggers, and those will let the marbles slowly pass through over time. So it's nice to see that. Aesthetically, some very interesting things done. One, using the big rock, which is a fixed texture, so that gives you one color. The track itself, a second texture. Glass and obstacles, a third texture. And then using the snow as a white texture. So they get a 4th bonus texture and then a 5th bonus texture with the giant rock. So up to 5 textures that people can work with if they know what they're doing technically, you could get as many as 8 textures if you really know what you're doing. So glad to see some very creative use for the coloring of the map. All right, lady, to the top. Fresh Booty, what was your aesthetic take on this particular track?
Like I said, just looking at it, you'd initially think that maybe they didn't change the track color, but like that orange is spot on for the 1980s version of the game. So,
Sure is.
I mean, I loved it, really. The only thing that I would say is maybe instead of clear for the obstacles, just get like a flat neutral color so you can still see the obstacles, but they're not visually obstructing the overall feel of the map.
Yeah. Maybe even could have used the liquid red, so it would still blend in, but it would be slightly different. Might have been an interesting choice. I mean, I can see why they went with the glass to try to just make it as non-distracting as possible. But I agree, it would have been nice to see something a bit more deliberate, other than just the transparent on the obstacles. But I think it works either way, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, there's a traffic jam. Leon and Vibblez are squeezed. Suck it in, guys. Suck it in. So on this map, after the lead marble gets through on the trigger, all the marbles are released through the board. They go through the portal, and then they're going through the trigger. Pretty nice design. So they've got a pretty well fixed 1 minute 30-second track, and then the marbles go through it twice, essentially. First marble that goes through on the trigger will hit the gate. Then the next marbles going through will unlock the gate. Something I did notice, Fresh Petite, don't know if you noticed, but these triggers are not set to trigger once.
That's actually one of the things I was going to bring up.
They're
Is
set to repeat.
when this group comes down after the first couple open the door for the initial marble, it's going to turn around and close that door again, so it chunks that ending into several groups instead of kind of letting the whole group flow together at the end.
Yeah, so there's... Now, I think with this particular system, there might not have been a way to do it directly on the end. So I think the last gate opening and closing was unavoidable with how they built it up. There might have been another way to build it to avoid that. But I do think these probably should have set to trigger once only. It's a bit of a judgment call. You know, I could see it argued either way, but me personally, I would have probably went with trigger once on those guys. But then we got the dice blocks, we got the portal through the jumping through, and that's that. Any final comments, Fresh Food Tea?
Overall, I would say that this may be my favorite ending of the maps we see today, only because I've never thought about having like a looping portal to go through. I thought that was really creative.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff you could do with short gapped portals. I've made a couple PML maps based off the concept, so always fun to see that played around with.
It's just satisfying for that much at the end.
For sure. All right, well, thank you much. We'll check with the other judges and get this going. Oh, I have to...
Chicken, no rush.
This is gonna be
Rush,
annoying.
chicken.
I gotta be able to get them permission somehow. I don't know why it's giving me horrible. We're muting everyone in the streamer today. Well, thank you again for judging on this map, guys. Charlie and or 24 Rocks, anything you would like to add?
Well, personally for me, I really like you mentioned, I really like the way and they use the triggers and the portals. It was very, very cool for me to see the marble going around, and that undid the portals. That was a very nice use of that. And also, to be fair, the first time I looked at this track, I didn't pay attention, so I didn't actually see the gates in between the start of the map. So when I actually saw that, saw how that worked, really cool. So.
All right, I like it. And Charlie, your thoughts?
Honestly, you covered like basically all of it, but I was so impressed with how clean the board itself is.
Yes,
It's
yes.
just really, really
Love-
nice.
Oh,
looking.
look at those lines. Look at those. Oh, delightful. I agree. Very good stuff. All right. Well, I'll leave y'all to it. Let's get into the next map. Droska takes first place. Congratulations. 20 points going your way. Make sure the leaderboard is active. There it is. Lady. 23. Jake 22. 24 Rocks, 21. And Nabeltraum, 20 points. Congratulations. Again, you do get 4 points just for joining. But you want those top 20s to get you that extra edge. We're going to the next map. Here we go. The next map is... Ooh. One of the Samms. That's right, we had 2 Samms. This is the Cowboys. Sammbm and Yusuf Ali 24. Forming the team, the Cowboys, and their recreation of the game, Clue. Ooh, that's a juicy board. Let's get Wicked Seated here and see what we're doing. Hello.
Hello.
Let me get you back in here. There we go. Boom, I did it. So Wicked. Thoughts on Clue?
Aesthetically, probably my favorite map out of the 5.
It might be the most faithful recreation.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like the lasers outlining all different colors, it just comes
again
together
talking about
really
that
well.
that texture boundary, right? How do you get around only having 3 textures? As I said, there are technically 8 textures you can squeak out of just the textures, but we also see here using the snow, using the boosts, using the lasers, just doing everything they possibly can to get more colors. Love it. Well, it looks like Yusuf is available to talk. Does I'm guessing no Sammbm, just Yusuf. We can do that. Let's get him in here. And it might be push to talk only, so we'll see if Yusuf has to do that.
I think he will.
They'll get there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. For whatever reason, I don't have to be pushed to talk.
Well, you're
do you hear me?
you're in charge.
It's Yusuf. Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Good to see you entering the competition for once instead of hosting.
Yeah, I know, right?
All
Nice
right.
little change of pace.
What would you like to tell us about your
Um,
beautiful map?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, Sam and I put in a lot of work on this. Definitely added some gray hairs to the to my scalp. But no, it was fun.
People always say that about my competitions. I don't get
I
it.
wonder why.
Why is everyone always so stressed?
It's like it requires me to think. Damn.
The worst.
But yeah, for those who don't know, this game is Clue. Basically, it's a game. It's a murder mystery game. Someone's, in this case, Shens has been killed, and we got to find out who killed him, where, with what weapon. So we've recreated the game Clue, and if you look at each room, we have furniture to bring it to life. 6 of them have weapons in them, as the original Clue does. So, for example, the conservatory has the wrench, the billiards room has the revolver, the library has the rope, which is, by the way, I should probably mention it. The yellow highlighted room is the library. The dark red, which is the bottom right, is the study. That doesn't have a weapon. But the pink room, the lounge, has the lead pipe. The green highlighted room is the dining room that has the dagger next to the dining room table. And the red in the top left corner is the kitchen, which has a candlestick. Now, we'll find out later in the map what the solution is. But yeah, all the marbles go in a clockwise order, starting with the top map, the top room, which is the hall. Or not the hall, the what's it called? I'm brain farting. Hold on. Damn it, what room is that?
Atrium, Great Hall.
No, that is the hall, right? I'm stupid. Hold on. Yeah. So, no, the hall Oh my god, why am I brain farting here? Hold on. I'm about to figure this out for you.
Ballroom.
I am punctual. Ballroom, that's correct. Yeah,
You've
I
been
put
throwing
the
a
piano
bone from
there.
your teammate.
I put the piano there, that's right, because I knew you're a pianist yourself, so...
I mean, you can pander to me all you want because I'm not judging, so I'm all for it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I'll give it to you. But yeah, so it took a lot of work. It was fun. We did have multiple uses of the portals and the gates. I'll list them here just so the judges know ahead of time. So obviously there's the normal use of just transferring marbles from one position to another. We have the use of a substitute as a dojo, in case sometimes marbles clack a little bit and get out the way. So we have one in the conservatory and at the exit of the hall. And we also have a double, like a two birds with one stone use here with the library with the reading glasses. That's used as an aesthetic piece, and it's also used as a barrier to keep marbles being afloat. And then of course the triggers used to open each gate. So if you notice, each gate opens once the room has been investigated.
Yes.
So that's kind of how the turns go, and then later in the map you'll see some of the trapdoors get activated. For those who don't know, in Clue, you can actually access the opposite corner rooms if you go through the trapdoors.
Yes.
And then of course at the end will be the reveal. And the reason why there's staircases at the end is because actually in the Steam version of this game, when someone decides to make an accusation, all the characters gather around the foyer. So that's a tribute to that as well.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's
Fancy.
That's what we got here.
Cool.
Any questions from the judges? I'll be willing to answer them.
Wicked, any questions?
No, I was a little confused running through the map, but not really any questions per se.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job of pathing the marbles through in a pretty coherent way. It's just once they get spread out, then it starts getting, it's like, whoa. But that's unavoidable, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I was able to follow it.
I guess one thing to highlight also is all the lasers that are used are congruent with the characters that are playable in game. So for example, you have Plum that's purple, Colonel Mustard that's yellow, Scarlet that's red, Mr. Green that's green, Miss Peacock that's blue, and Mrs. White, which we don't have white lasers, but I use cyan as a substitute.
Yeah. And I see you also used different intensity to get a slightly different color on that. That's something a lot of people don't know. You can change the saturation of the lasers from black to the color it is.
So I also did that because actually in the Steam version, there's DLC that has different shades of the reds and the blues. So that's also another touch to that as well.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll let you go, Yusuf. Thank you for an amazing map submission. And we'll get it going.
Problem. Hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, Wicked. We ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right. I'll send you off.
I think I'm in the thing.
We'll get it going. And I remembered to unmute him this time. Hooray. All right, folks. 2 minutes going up on the clock. Last chance to join. And again, thank you all for being here. And thank you to Sam and Yusuf. Team Cowboy. Or the Cowboys, I should say. No relation to an NFL team. Just for legal reasons, I have to say that. And we'll get this map underway. So first off, we are going to go into the ballroom. And then we will slowly meander our way through each room, trying to solve the mystery of who killed Shens. Is there a mustache? Oh, there's the dice. I saw the dice. Is there a mustache to represent the dead body? That's the question. So that's the one thing I didn't see. Yay or nay? Also, I think it was the wrench. I think it was the wrench. The wrench in the what? Is this the gym? What is this? Fireplace? Is this the study? No. What is this? Bedroom? Is this a bedroom? Is this a bedroom? Conservatory. It was the wrench in the conservatory. And then the white, I forget who that represents. Plants. Plants. I thought this was a fireplace. Plants. I get it. Cool. 30 seconds. Last chance to join. Get your marbles in. And we'll get this underway. the person who will be talking about this map as we go through it. From the judge's side, will be Fresh Brewed Tea again. That's right. He's doubling up, getting it out of the way early. I didn't tell the judges what order we'd be running them in, so there's a bit of a disconnect between the judge order and the track order. Don't worry about it. All right, so the marbles are getting off into the map, opening door number 1, working their way through the snow. Kerfuffle, kerfuffle. I do love that the snow just explodes all over the place when marbles go into it and go out of it. A good way to regulate the speed as well. The marbles will slowly work their way over to the secret portal, and that will get us going into the map. Let's get Fresh Brewed Tea in here and see what we going. Going through all the stuff. Alrighty, Fresh Brewed, how we up?
Hi again, everybody. Yeah, it's kind of like Wicked. Just aesthetically, this was amazing to look at. You just, you load it and you just kind of pull back and there's Clue. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Different coloring, the outlines. I did also kind of have the same problem of like once the marbles get going, and like you said, I think it could be part of the spread. It was a little hard to see everything that's going on because actually one of the things I put in my notes was I was disappointed that the secret pathways between the corner rooms wasn't there, but apparently it is, and I just missed it. So
Yes.
That's really exciting.
I think it's this. I think it's the little gap that you got to get into.
Yeah, like I saw Clue as one of the board games, and that was the first thing I was like, if we're doing portals, there better be ways for marbles to go from corner to corner.
Mm-hmm. I do wonder if there would have been a way to have the first marble into the gate hit the gate without getting stuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have to play around with those physics, but if you had the trigger close the door first, and then the marble goes through and then it opens, but then you have the trouble of the door opening and closing repeatedly. So it'd be interesting to try to problem solve that to see if you could use the gates in a way to keep the spread down, but at least on this run, it looks like the spread's doing pretty dang good.
Yeah, nice tight group. The other thing I want to talk about while we're in the kitchen is Yusuf. I just want to know how you made this sink that's in the corner.
The sink, it's so good. Where is it? Where is
It's
it?
absolutely amazing. Running water in the sink.
Well, that's
It's
the
in
fire.
the orange room.
That's the fire.
Back up where we are.
Oh,
It's in that corner next to the green room.
So confused.
Yeah.
I lost.
There.
I'm so
There,
lost.
right where all the marbles are.
I'm so
There you go.
lost. I'm
Nope.
so. Oh,
Down, straight down.
No,
Back.
Wait.
Oh, you lost
Wait.
it.
No, I'll find it. No.
Okay. Yeah, I was blown away by the sink. Like
It was-
I probably just
it's around here
watched
somewhere.
the
I'll find
entire
it.
run just staring at the sink trying to figure it out. And
Top right
then I was
corner.
like, oh,
This
the race
No,
finish.
that's the wrong one. I'll find. No, I'm gonna go room by room. There it is. The sink. We found it. Hey, so blue laser and a blue cube, right next to the stove. That was. The sink is very nice. I do like that.
Fantastic.
Very good stuff.
And then the other thing, my wife come over my shoulder while I was just testing some of these maps, and I told her, I said, "Look at this. This is Clue." And then she goes, "Does it have like all the little weapons?" I was like, "No." And then like I got really looking like down on the map. I was like, "No, it definitely does." Like the revolver, all of it, you can tell exactly what it's supposed to be. You guys did a great job utilizing some of the obstacles and other map pieces to construct weapons. Slightly terrifying.
So I was right about who committed the murder, but it was the knife in the kitchen apparently. So there you have it. It was Scarlet with the knife in the conservatory. Got it. We solved the riddle. Cool. Any final comments there, Fresh Breed?
No, I really liked it. The only thing I would say is maybe I would have liked to see the ending incorporated into the map instead of just kind of pushed off to the side.
Yeah, he did say that was in reference to the little like meeting room that the online version has. So I think that's the direction
I
they
missed
went.
that.
Yes.
Well done.
But and the start was very nice, and the finish homage so good. And apparently some shortcutters are gonna have a little trouble finishing the map. They seem to have gone backwards, unfortunately. So yeah, overall very good stuff. Thank you much, Fresh Brood, and we'll check in with the other judges. Hello, everyone.
Oh.
How we doing?
We doing good?
Glad to hear. What are your thoughts on this particular map?
This map was epic. Like when I loaded into this map, I was blown away. Each room, like the design, like the creator said, putting the weapons down there was really super cool and ingenious. Absolutely blew me away. And the way the marbles went through, I actually was the same thing with Fresh Brew Tea. I didn't know that there were the trapdoors, and I'm glad I during testing I saw that as well, and we saw that in your race as well. So that was very, very well done.
Charlie, your thoughts?
I mean, the attention to detail on this map is like absolutely show-stopping, I think. Also, like when I loaded it in, I was just like, it was the last map I was checking, I think, and I was just like, whoa, and I needed like a minute to like look at it.
Just throw the rubric out the window and just take a tour of the map itself.
Absolutely.
I hear you. All right, well, glad you enjoyed it, and we're gonna get to the next one. All right, folks, let's see what we got. 24 Rocks hits it again. My goodness, they're running away with it already. Got 21 and 24 points. Tabriz has a good 36 points. Ruska, Sam, and Dark Wigs. Top 5 right now. That'll continue to change as the maps go through. Let's go into the next map, which is... Oh, a childhood favorite. What child of the 90s could possibly get through life without knowing what this game is? It's Snakes and Ladders, also known as Shoots and Ladders, depending on which country you grew up in. But oh my goodness. Oh. Talk about a map. Let's get Wicked sitting here and talk about it. I grabbed you without warning. I apologize.
That is fine.
So this is the Slithering Slimy Snakes, although they've changed their name every time I talk to them. MrHunchBak and Jacliff Gaming for the submission. Wicked, what do you think?
This map is probably the most exciting map while running.
The mechanics are stellar, I agree.
Yeah, the technicality of having to have those tracks with how the marbles get from each section is just...
I believe these are size 4 marbles. This map went for it.
I don't want to think about how long moving those things around.
trying to handle the floaty nature of size 4 marbles. It's a doozy. It's a doozy. I think this map also exemplifies the turn-based nature the most. I mean, a lot of the maps do the turn-based nature pretty well, but I think this one's the most obvious, and we'll discuss that as the race progresses. But let's see if we have HunchBak or Jacliff ready. Looks like we have HunchBak ready. HunchBak, are you ready? I think they're ready. We'll get him in here. MrHunchBak, hello.
Hello, I am ready.
Oh, a boisterous voice. I love it. I can actually hear you.
Yeah, very much so.
How you doing?
Yeah, so I'm not too bad. So this map, I'm not gonna lie, was an absolute ball ache to work on. I spent so long simming it. Every time I simmed it, something would be moving like 0.1 on the map, and I'd be like, no! And then I'd move that, and then I'd have to move the next piece. I think I ended up putting into it maybe 50 hours worth of Sims.
Oh,
Just
Jacob's here too.
to
Let's
get
get
the
Jacob.
pieces right.
Yeah.
Dragging him in?
You bravely went with. I mean, you did use some portal jumps, but you also just used straight up bouncy. And Jacob, we got you. We're in here. We found him. He was somewhere on the side street. Let him know.
I didn't know if anybody could hear me, so.
Oh, sorry. We got you. But yeah, so not just using portal jumps, but also using bouncy textures as well. So I can definitely say bouncy texture and size 4 marbles is quite the feat, and you went for it, and I appreciate it. Jake Cliff, something you'd like to say about your map?
So I know this took a very long time to build. The snakeheads kind of were difficult to get to look somewhat like snakeheads.
I was privy to some preliminary drafts of the map, and the first snake looked amazing, but I think it also used up about 100 pieces, so that had to go quickly.
Yeah, that's correct. So when we first looked at this map as well, we were like, 100 squares. That's the standard sort of snakes and ladders or shoots and ladders. And I was like, we need to find an alternative because 100 squares is going to use up a third of our pieces straight off.
Yeah.
So we did a bit of research into it. We found some with 56, we found some with 36. So we decided to shrink it down a bit. And we still maxed out on the pieces, maxed out on the obstacles. But yeah, it was some work. So the way we built it was we built the snakes and the ladders with the board first, and then we sort of figured out how we're going to move these pieces across.
Yep.
Now, as a child, do you remember picking up your piece and you used to bounce it on every single square as you go along the board?
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was going to say the same exact thing. You don't slide your piece on the board. This ain't Monopoly. You count it out up and down, and I love that.
So that's exactly the replication that I wanted to go for, and I'm quite happy we achieved it. And then when you hit a ladder, you shoot up the ladder so it rolls up the ladder and there's no bounce on it. When you come down the snake, you get the same scenario as well. So yeah.
So we'll be seeing all that as we run through the map. So thank you too for a wonderful submission. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you around. I forgot to ask if we had questions, but I feel like we're going over time, so we're just going to go for it.
Yeah.
All right, any last comments there, Wicked?
I'm just still sick at how long this technicality took.
I know all too well what this map took to make, so I look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave you to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes up on the clock. Get your bubbles in. Last chance to join. And again, thank you all for coming out. Since we have some time, I would like to take a moment to thank all the people making this event possible. Number 1, Pixel by Pixel Studios, who was kind enough to finally extend us some higher stakes prizes for our 3rd competition. I know he's been checking out the last 2 competitions and he liked what he saw, so thank you to everyone who continued to stick with this. We have definitely made some waves with this competition. People are taking notice. So thank you to the studio for recognizing the event, Enders and Pixel specifically, but everyone in the studio involved, obviously. Thank you again to Wicked Sin, who is the co-sponsor of this event, the brainchild, the one who actually came up with the board game theme itself. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for working with me for the 3rd time on this wonderful competition series that we have going. Thank you to our judges, Charlie, Fresh Brewed Tea, and 24 Rocks. Again, 3 builders worth their own weight in salt, if not gold, for taking the time out to do all this. We do hope everyone is able to take the criticism constructively. The whole purpose of this event is 1, to recognize builders for the hard work and amazing things they're able to do, and 2, to help the builders be better next time, not just in the competition, but in their general building overall. We will do an after party if you want to stick around, and we'll do a heavier breakdown of your maps of where things could have been improved or done differently to achieve similar effects. So if you want to stick around for that, feel free to do so. And then finally, thank you to everyone currently watching this stream. Thank you to the mods for keeping things working. Thank you everyone for being here. Do appreciate it. let's get this race underway. And I do believe our judge who will be talking about this map. It is 24 rocks. It's 24 rocks. It's 24 rocks. So we'll get them in the chat once the race is underway. There we go. The blistering start of the marbles as they slowly roll their giant size 4 marbles. Look, they're almost bigger than the dojo. And again, gentle reminder, we are not worried about the quality of the race. We're worried about the faithful replication of the game itself. And as you can see, the bouncing of pieces from side to side, tile to tile, just like you would if you were 7 years old playing this yourself. You love to see it. Now you will see some variance in the bouncing and the marbles. That is exactly what we were talking about. Some marbles won't make it. It's unfortunate, but that is the trick with building with these higher marble sizes and the various physics required. So you'll see the marbles going through just like in Snakes and Ladders. The path through the map, you have to kind of snake your way up, back and forth, and you have a chance to advance on the board with a ladder or drop down on the map on a snake. So you'll see some marbles start to divide out here based on what they can do. I do believe the first chance is this one right here. You can get through the ladder, but only when all 3 squares are out of your way. So you'll see the marbles start to split up on these conditions. Let's get 24 rocks in here to see what the judges thought of the map. 4 square. 4 squares. I stand corrected. 4 squares. 24 rocks. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Love checking in on everybody. What do you as a judge make of this map?
So this map is the map that most reminds me of actually playing Snakes and Ladders. The way this map is built, the way the marbles move, like you feel like you're playing. You watch your marble and like, oh my god, I hit a snake. God damn, I'm going up a ladder. Yes. So that, like, the functionality of the race is, like you said, is not the most important thing. So I feel the recreation is absolutely perfect on that part.
I really feel like, as I said, the turn-based nature of this, because you'll get some marbles that are waiting behind gates. You'll have other marbles that are shooting ahead. There's a whole thing where like each stage of the game has a thing, and as you can see, Yorstra and Tamariz have snaked already. Back to the start, you go. You scrubs.
Yeah.
Look out for the snakes.
Also, I absolutely like the builders were talking about the snakes. That was a really, really cool feature because on the board game that I have sitting in my house, there are snake heads on each of the pieces, and you never wanted to hit that. So I'm really glad they did that design. They look really nice.
Excellent stuff.
For me, the only issue that I had with this map was marbles tended to get stuck a lot because of the bouncing, and that sucked. It sucked,
Yeah,
but at the same time, as someone who's played around a lot with bouncing and stuff on tracks that I haven't uploaded, it's not the most easiest thing, and I have actually never used size 4 marbles, so for getting this track, for making this track to be very useful, I really like what they've done.
Yeah, with especially with my 1 hour tracks, the thing you learn very quickly is the more specific you manipulate the physics, the less reliable the map is. So it gets to a point of diminishing returns, because you could spend 4 hours fine-tuning a particular jump sequence, and then the moment someone else runs it on a different computer, it doesn't work past the first jump, and you're like, son of a bitch! so there is definitely a thing in marbles where you can only manipulate the physics so much, and you can fine-tune it as much as you want on your computer, but the moment you upload it, you can throw all of that out the window. So it is a thing. So you'll see here, this is where the marbles kind of get stalled out into their turns, which I love. It doesn't look like we had any ladder shooters, unfortunately. The skips were uncut. Oh, Darkwing's finally got one, so we're gonna get there. But the people who shot up on the ladders do have to wait in the gates for the regular marble paths to occur, which is another thing I really like. It helps add to
Yes.
that turn base where, you know, someone gets a high roll and they go, and then the person in the back goes. So it has this very turn-based nature in motion where marbles that do jump ahead have to wait for the other marbles, just like in the real game.
No, that was in one of my second test. I had a marble waiting at that exact first gate you looked at, and the rest of the marbles were just bouncing around, waiting for that gate to open. And like you said, the turn-based detail was very, very cool.
Cool. All right, well, it looks like we're wrapping up the map, so we will send you back, and we'll check in with the judges at the end of the race. Thank you much. All right, so we are wrapping it up. It looks like we have had some casualties, but again, we did some testing, and we requested some changes throughout this map. So do not worry, even though this is not qualifying on this run, it did qualify in testing. It passed 2 of the 3 tests, actually, with 33 marbles. So that was quite fun. But we're getting into it. The marbles have to get to the end, and then they got to get scooped to trigger, which does require a certain number of marbles. I believe 6 guarantees it. 5, there's a brief chance of it actually happening. So we will get close to that. Grumster might be our key marble here. Nope, Fresh Food's going to do it. Fresh Food, nope, Fatima's going to do it. Fatima! For the stream, Fatima! For the stream, Fatima! They got this. Oh, no, we're going to need one more. Grumster, we're waiting on you, bud. The salvation of the run is on you. No pressure. No pressure. Just the whole stream counting on you not to fuck this up. You got this. No, really, you got this. You got this. Oh, wait! Fresh Brood did it! Okay, so Fresh Brood's through. Fresh Brood will hit the trigger. The gate will open. The marbles will be free. And they will break their way through the giant cube. And celebratory laser explosion at the end. Plop-a-da-da. Maybe. There they go. Beautiful. Actually beautiful. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Snakes and Ladders map. Wonderful stuff. Let's check with the judges and see what's going on. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Charlie, Fresh Brew Tea, what would you like to add to this wonderful map?
I mean, what do you say that hasn't been said? The map's just great to look at. I don't even want to think about the timing or the time involved in testing all the different jumps and landing switches and components. I will say that, like Shin was talking about the physics and the different machines, my computer's got a low-end processor and it kind of struggled. I actually ran it like 3 times and kept having marbles get stuck at gates, and then I messaged Shins and he's like, why don't you turn your graphics down? It's probably your computer. And I did, and it worked great. So if you do run this and you're having problems, just turn your graphics down. You didn't have a problem.
Agreed. It doesn't always work, but it usually works. It was really funny. Spoo, I think, was stuck on my 1-hour map for like 3 hours in the jump sequence. And I was like, Spoo, I hate to say this 2 hours too late, but what if you just turned your graphics card down, and like a minute later after turning his graphics down, he got out of the section that he was stuck in for 2 hours. Everyone in chat was like, oh my god, you bastard. Charlie, what do you got for us?
The one thing I did not make the connection with is the bouncing to be like, you know, how you do it with the pawn when you're a child. But I still do it that way.
That's the only way to do it.
It is. But now that I have that connection, it's just so much better, and it was already so good.
Yeah, no, I would say as far as motion recreation goes in a game, I think this one blew it out of the water for sure. And just attacking the requirements, you know, not being afraid to go above size 2 on the marbles, really using the portals, really using the gates. I think they did not shy away from anything, so I really like it. So that'll do it. I'll leave y'all to it. Let's get into the next one. Only a couple finishers, which is going to change things up on the leaderboard. Let's take a look. Paradigm. Sneak it up there. Wicked Sin also up there. Kira, Fatima, and Grumster. Top 5 in right now. Very interesting. What does that do for the overall leaderboard? It's a mess. It's a mess up there. Anyone could win. Let's go to the next race. Our next race, we are coming up to. I wonder what it could possibly be with a name like Battleship Shenanigans. It's You Sunk My Marbleship team, KiraRusalka and Yorstra, who teamed up together in the previous competition to bring us Battleship. My God. Let's get Wicked in here and see what we got going. You've been snagged.
I've been snagged.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Battleship. What do you make of it?
Really good recreation. I would have liked to see a little bit of a more exciting, like, explosion in there, but
like some triggers and explosions kind of a thing.
yeah,
I agree.
still a very accurate and excellent recreation.
Yes. Visually, I think they might have done the best job out of all our competitors. It's like anyone would get it. You could upload this on the regular
The explosions
map upload.
were
You don't
too
even need the little
small.
title card. You could literally just upload this section right here. Everyone, whoever played it, would know exactly what was going on.
Could we have done explosions with triggers and
Yeah, I think it would have been
like,
nice.
maybe
but
some laser explosions?
we'll get into that as we run the race. But I agreed. I think there were a couple things in this map that left me wanting more. And you hate when a map makes you want more, especially a map that's already so good. You feel a little greedy, but we'll get into that for sure. It's a very well put together map.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
let's see if Kira and or Yorstra are ready. It looks like they are. Let's get them in here. Kira, hello.
Hello.
And Yorstra. Hello.
Hello.
It worked.
Hello.
Welcome in, everyone. What would you guys like to say about your map?
There
I tried
is an
the explosions.
explosion.
Oh, okay.
Well, I tried to do the explosions for each of the ship attacks, but you couldn't see them. Or
Right.
they would just blow all the marbles out of the way.
Right.
The explosion that we do have is at the end.
Ah,
you see it
okay.
around the
I
battleship word.
Got it.
Yeah, we
So
blow
if you
up
look
the,
around the
box.
battleship, there are bombs around the title.
Yes. Got it. But we'll get into that. How about your texture usage? Who figured the textures out for this one?
I think both of us did.
Well, I mean, we knew we needed the water,
Yeah.
and we had to figure out what texture we wanted the ships. And then for the background, that red mechanical whatever just seemed to work perfectly.
Yep. Now, did you use the giant maze box? Is that what you used?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a glass texture on there.
It is a glass texture.
Very nice. And then the lasers really bring it together. I like it. For sure. Wicked Sid, any questions?
No, it worked really well. I just really would have liked to see some explosions.
There are, and I agree, because the way they do it, you'll see they're using anti-grav and stuff, so you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah.
Anti-grav, so definitely some hurdles that I'm sure.
I might try and experiment with
Yeah,
some
we'll play around with it ourselves, and then after
triggers
2 hours
and
of not
gates
getting it
and
to work,
lasers
we'll
and
just be like,
stuff to
okay,
see if I
fine.
can simulate an explosion like that.
It's one of those things like, I want to take a crack at this. I want to try. Which is always a good sign. All right, any parting words here, Yorstra or Kira?
We hate you.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming. Every time. I hear it every time. I knew it was coming. I wanted to give you one
We
last
hope you
chance.
guys enjoy it.
All right. Thank you all, and best of luck to you. All right. I think we're ready to go. You ready to go, Wicked?
Yep.
Let's do it. 2 minutes on the clock. Get your bobbles in, and we'll check in with a bit. Okay. So again, this is You Sunk by Marbleship, the team consisting of Kira and Yorstra, recreating Battleship, and when I say recreating, fantastic stuff. And I do believe 24 Rocks will be our judge covering this race. So once the race gets underway, we'll get them in here. And there you have it. Oh my god, look at these Merbs. Look at them. Look at them all. Beautiful Merbs. At this point, I feel like I don't think we have like the same marble ever. You know, it used to be a point where like you would see a couple of the same marbles a lot of the time. But at this point, I feel like there's so much diversity now. Like, you rarely ever see the same marble twice. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Again, pandering, welcome, as I'm not a judge. It won't affect your score. So, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Get that mustache in. Who needs a marble builder skin when you've got a mustache in the game? That's what I'm saying. Excuse me. All right, 30 seconds. Last chance to get him in. Get him in. Again, prizes up for grabs. Kaboom. 30 tournament coins for first place. 100 community coins for second place. 50 community coins for third place. And then, of course, the builder prizes to be awarded at the end. And the after party to go over the maps more at length. Should you be curious about my thoughts on everything. Oh, let's do it. We got 33 marbles in. Hey, that's the exact number we tested with. How did I know? So marbles will get in. They're going to boost around. They're going to get to the cannon launch with the anti-grab, and that will set them into their two sides. And then again, this is another map that does really well with the turn-based feature. So what will happen is the marbles will split into two. One group will wait for the gate. The other group will go through the board and then trigger the gate. And then that will let the next side through. So you'll see this nice back and forth of the marbles. So let us see what we got going on with 24 Rocks. As all the marbles boost through the space. Hello, good sir.
Hey.
What do you make of this map?
This map was awesome. Testing it, playing it was awesome. I really loved how they used. I know they didn't use explosions for the bombs, but the missed shots, missing the boats, was a great illusion.
Yeah.
And also, I loved how, like you said, the turn-based, where you one side waits, and then all the marbles shoot through the board right into the ship. Absolutely love that feature of this map.
It's definitely good. I will say, speaking of things I wish they did, they did not line up the grid on the board with the grid. Like, if the marble comes out of this one, it would hit that square. So that's the one thing I didn't quite like, is that the grids didn't line up.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the anti-grav system, it's not easy to work with, and there could definitely be some issues. So I'm not entirely.
It works the way it does. Like I said, there's little nitpicky details you can always see, right?
Yeah.
But I like they said, I did like when the race finishes, the explosion at the end of the battleship. That was very cool as well. And you mentioned it at the beginning, the textures, the water, the board. It absolutely reminds me of playing Battleship.
Now, I have actually seen some other people build a Battleship map. And one thing they also did that I would have liked to see on here is marking on the grid what has happened on the board. So here there are 5 hits, and then 2 hits, and then 1 miss. It would have been nice to see either like an X and a circle system to show like the 5 X's, the 2 X's, and then a circle for the miss on the grid to kind of represent each board, because that's how it happens in the game, is you can put pins in on your grid to signify what's happening on the other side. So it's just, there's always those little things that you just wish could have been more done. But it does come down to piece management, as Kira signifies. So I'm sure there's only so much that can be done.
And also visually, like I said, visually, you also could have put the games back to back, right? Because if you're playing with 2 systems, you're facing each other, right?
Right.
But visually, that wouldn't have looked as cool.
Correct. It'd be a little harder to watch as a spectator. So
Yeah.
and the bombs did go off. We just missed it. I almost had it. I tried to time it, but I just missed it. But yeah, so again, I think definitely limitations of the builder itself, unfortunately. But definitely, notwithstanding that, seeing everything that they did, fantastic map. Great to have it in the competition. It's exactly what we like to see. So I'll let you go back, and we'll check in with the other judges in just a second. All right, so that is the race, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what our other judges had to make of this. Hold the back. Oh God, what just happened? My thing is going crazy. Ugh. And now caps lock is on, apparently. Who knew? Hi.
Hello.
How's everybody doing in here?
I think we're doing dandy.
You guys keep it toasty in here. What did you set the thermostat at? It's warm.
Nice 90.
Good lord. Fresh brewed. What would you like to say about that?
Visually, it's another one that I really loved it. Loved the representation. One thing that, like, as soon as I loaded in and I saw the boards, that I was like, was the little pockets that would be on the right side of each board that hold your hit and miss pieces.
Yeah.
Aren't there? And
a little
then
tray.
I also noticed that there's 3 ships and 3 ships instead of 5 and 5.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see, I guess with the carrier being sunk on the right, there would have been 3 pins across the top of the board and 2 pins across the top of the board for the left side.
Yep. Again, it might come down to piece limitations.
Piece building, yeah, absolutely. Yep. And then I'm with 24 Rocks. Those missed shots in the water were stunning.
That was, I think that's might be the best invention of the whole competition. I think everyone
100%
is immediately drawn to it. They're just, it's so simple and yet so well done. So it's worth all 40 pieces that this takes up for sure. a good investment of 40 pieces on those explosions. Charlie, what do you got for us?
I mean, it's a great map. Like, you immediately know what it is. The only thing is that, like, it is so, like, disconnected when it goes to the start and the finish. It bothers me just a smidge. But
yes,
overall, it's awesome.
That might be something that could have been, that 24 Rocks was touching on. Maybe finding a way, or Fresh Brewed, excuse me. Maybe using those piece trays as the start and finish could have been a way to do it, right? So while it may not have represented the full motion of the board, it would have been a nice way to incorporate a start and a finish into it a bit more seamlessly, just using those piece trays. But again, at this point we're just splitting hairs because we just love it so much. We want to see it perfect. So, all right. Well, thank you, judges, again, and we'll get on to the next map. All right, everyone, let's go. In the top, we have Fatima, Yorstra, Lady, Rolling Wonder, and Dark Wings getting big points. But on that leaderboard, 24 Rocks still up top. Keeps hitting big ones over here. Someone's got to take them down. Droska's trying, Paradise trying, Lady's trying, Fatima's trying. But they're going to need a little bit more. Into the final submission of the competition. Suspicious scurrying shenanigans. What is it really? Time will tell. It's Mousetrap! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mousetrap! And we'll talk about this mouse in a little bit. But this is the Grind Trappers, made by grinder extraordinaire Vibblez and Sssamiam. And Sssamiam, I believe, no, Sammbm won last competition. Sssamiam teaming up with Vibblez this time, trying to take it. The battle between the Sams. Let us get... Oh no, it was Sssamiam. Was that right? Yeah, Sssamiam and Flanny. So Sssamiam, the returning champion, trying to defend their title. There's too many Sams. I'm mixing them up. So we'll see how the judges took to this submission. Let's get Wicked Sin in here and see what's going on. Hello, good sir.
Hello.
You're back again.
So this map looks really good. Just the colors blending and on the black background and the little mouses and everything. I had a few marble stalls here and there, but other than that, really sound.
Now I will say, I was a bit devious, knowing Mousetrap would likely be one of the submissions. With the not one size marble, it does eliminate the ability to use the tiny tubes and the tiny track to an extent.
Yeah.
So that does make this whole recreation of the track a bit trickier with the marble sizes. But there are ways to do it. There were ways to use skinny track, I'm sure. But let's get
the addition of the bucket, though. That couldn't have come at a better time.
Yes, correct. It was like it was meant to be. Like it was meant to be. But let's see. We're gonna get Sammbm in here, and is Vibblez available for chat, or is he streaming? He might be streaming right now. So let's get Sammbm in here. Sam, how you doing?
Oh, good.
You're here now. Congratulations.
Thanks.
What would you like to say about your map?
We initially built this, and I totally skipped over the fact that we weren't supposed to use size 1 marbles, which, when I changed it to size 2, I had to redo a lot of things. Certain things I couldn't use, and had to rejigger all of the boost to try and keep people going around and not get into places they weren't supposed to.
Correct.
And not finish too fast.
That was the trick, is the 3-minute requirement definitely pushes it a little harder for some board games, depending on...
And this one was definitely one of them.
Yeah,
even at size 1, it was easy to finish too fast.
Even in real life, Mousetrap is over pretty quick, so...
Right, exactly. So, but it's a game with a marble run. It made sense for marbles.
I was expecting it to happen, so that was part of the consideration.
Certain things, obviously, I couldn't build. I tried to get a hammer in there to act as the boot that kicks the initial bucket.
Right.
It glitched constantly, and it ended up where I got it so it couldn't glitch. It was way up too high over the board.
Yeah.
And then I just ran out of pieces.
So often the problem with these competitions.
Amazing that I ran out of pieces, but I ran out of pieces.
Wicked Sin, any questions?
No, not really.
Well, he seems pretty satisfied with it. What would you say is your favorite part of Mousetrap? Like, what device do you like the best?
Frankly, I wish I could have built the trap that comes down to actually trap things instead of just shove them through the
the little hollow
game.
hollow
or
cage.
to be able to trigger that would have been really cool.
I mean, if only the nail funnel could have been used to be moved up and down. That would have been...
I mean, if you wanted to sacrifice another 36 pieces, you could make a cage out of small little bars and have them all move in sequence, but that would also be a nightmare.
It'd be, but it can be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was. That's the one thing I'm disappointed in.
Yeah.
The bathtub could be more creative.
I do have one other question, but I don't want to spoil a surprise, so I'll let you
Okay.
answer. I'll let you answer in chat when we come to that moment.
Yeah, I'll answer why that's there.
Okay, great. But thank you for Wonderful Map, and thank you, Vibblez. Good luck on the grind.
Sure.
And we'll see you.
Okay.
All right, Wickets in. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get this underway. 2 minutes on the clock. Get your marbles in. And again, this is the last chance to earn some points to try to win those tournament and community coins. And thank you, Wicked, for putting up some prizes yet again for this wonderful competition.
Yeah, thank you for hosting all of this wonderful map building greatness.
It's good to see amazing maps. So, I'll let you do it. Boogow! All right, everyone. The time is ticking. 1:30 left to join. This is the last race of the competition. We will be doing cleanups in the form of the after party. So it won't be the fastest cleanups, but there will be cleanups. So good luck with that. You should only need one more, technically. So you could get away on the first map and be done. So I think it's pretty fair. But yeah, there you have it. The Mousetrap. I think my favorite part of Mousetrap is the diving man into the cup, which unfortunately no way to recreate in current form of marbles. But I'm glad there's at least a person. And adorable mice. Also, I don't know if y'all noticed, placing the Mousetrap sign on the starting camera. That's another thing that's very hard to do. For those of you who don't know how to do it, what you do is you save the map as you're working on it after you've placed your start piece. Then you can run it in local as a local file. So you go to Community Maps Local, you can open the file, and that will load the camera in the starting position that it starts once you upload the map. And then you can use that to reposition where you want to put signage and other things for the start of your map. So if you're ever wondering where the camera is for a map, what you're working on, just save it, load it up in local, and that'll tell you exactly where it is. So you have it. All right, we're getting this in, and I do believe Charlie is going to be the one talking about this map. So we will get her in here as soon as we are through underway. But as you can see, the marbles loosing through the board, going around the lap system, and they will be going around quite a bit before they work their way through the actual Mousetrap system. So good to see the marbles going through. Both of them. Peridot has already jumped ship, as they are known to do. Hitting some triggers. Getting everything going. Looking good. There are a couple portals to work everything in. And let's get Charlie in here. Assuming they're ready. All good. Here we go. Oh, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Amazing. I'm so much fun today.
I agree. What would you say as a judge about this map?
It's an awesome map, though. Like, you know, I'm a little bit nitpicky when it comes to like little creatures on the map.
You do have the veteran pull for commenting on people's construction of creatures. So
I'm sorry. It's like the first thing I look at, right?
I think you're qualified to talk about it.
Thank you so much. I also think so. Though with this map, right, those mice are adorable, but one of them has little yellow eyes and the other one does not, and I can't not say that.
Not sure if that's a copy and paste error or just a piece management decision, but I think more importantly, the mouse without eyes is about to have something horrible happen to it.
Yes, I'm really concerned about its health.
It's it's a very unfortunate sequence that befalls this mouse. What do you make of the pathing through the map?
I think it's really interesting, though I do wish it was a little bit more, a little bit more different pieces there. But it's like interesting to look at. Like you don't get bored. There's something happening all the time, so it's a really, really awesome like layout.
Yeah, it's good that they actually path the marbles in order to fill the 3 minutes, not just doing like loops or laps or something, but they go around the whole board, they go through the shortcuts, and then they go through the actual Mousetrap.
Exactly, like it's not too repetitive.
So I think they did a good job with that problem solving on there. Yorstra's in the lead. So as far as not size 1 marbles, what's your experience on working with that?
I managed to never, ever do that.
I highly recommend it. It's an experience.
I was playing in the like map maker just before I opened those maps to see like how they behave if it's much more difficult, and I can say I will never ever do that.
Just for your own sanity.
Exactly.
And we do have the rocket propelled mouse. Sam, would you care to defend your decision here to send this mouse into space via butt rocket? We're all a little concerned. So, this is strictly a stuck marble solution. Interesting. Okay, so it does have a function. It's not just an aesthetic choice. Interesting. All right. Any other things you'd like to say about the map, Charlie?
No, I just want to say it's overly an awesome map. Like, you know what you're looking at, right? So it's
Correct.
a good job.
I agree. All right. We'll get to the other judges in just a minute. Thank you much. So we are wrapping up this race. It looks like we got a couple scragglers here. Ken has given up on life. Fair enough. And Sssamiam just died, actually. They portaled into the wall. So Ken, our last remaining hope, just waiting the inevitable. Butt rockets, I mean, I will say, it's a very effective way to kill marbles, for sure. Maybe not the most efficient piece use, but it does the job, and it does it well. It's a new track record! Alright, let's go into the judging booth and see what we're doing. You got it. Hello again, everyone.
Hello.
What do you guys got left to say about this masterpiece?
Well, I'd like to say that I really like the use of the portal to just simply pass the marble through the solid block of the bathtub. I thought that was pretty snazzy. Because my first thought was looking at it was like, how do they get through there? And then like I saw like just the rim of the portal, and then once it all went off, it all made perfect sense. I was a little bit distracted by how dark the map is in some parts on the black, like the matte black background.
Correct. Yeah.
But all that was great. And then I'm just curious how you're killing the marbles that are in the wind bin.
I think that might be just a ring timer. I think this is a ring finish, and then it's just a kill marble timer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. 24 Rocks, what do you got?
Oh, I really like this map. This was really good. Well done. The only thing that that I had a problem with is that occasionally the gate would trigger early, and the marbles would get an early. It would only go around once. So yeah. Otherwise, very well done. I absolutely love the bins. When the marbles would drop in the portal into the bins, that was really cool.
Yeah. And this is something I've done a lot of work on, making my own lapse tracks, and doing the secret is you don't want to have one trigger for a lap. You want to have two triggers on opposite sides of the circuit, so that the one half triggers the second half, which triggers the first half. So that way, unless a marble is more than half a lap ahead of everyone else, it'll keep everyone in the same system. So that's a much more involved thing. That's another 8 to 10 hours process on its own. So I'm not surprised to see they went with a more simplistic decision there to make that happen, but that is the result of the competition, unfortunately, with the constraints put on everybody. But yeah, so I can definitely see that being a bit of an issue, but I can assure you the solution to that is not pretty. It's another 8 to 10 hours easy. All right, well, unless anyone else has anything else to say, I'm going to let you all deliberate and finalize your scores. And then you guys can just send a text
thanks
message.
to all the judges and contestants and viewers for joining us for races and everything. And, of course, to you for hosting the wonderful event we've had today.
Of course. Thank you. So I will let them finalize their scores. They'll send me a message once they have agreed. And in the meantime, we can unveil the viewer winners. So again, prizes up for grabs right now. 30 tournament coins for first place, 100 community coins for second place, and 50 community coins for third place. Let's go to the leaderboard and see who's got it. In third place, getting 50 community coins, we have 24 Rocks, who was leading early on, but has since been dethroned. Fascinating. So it really was anyone's game. Let's see who took it. In second place, getting 100 community coins, Tammaries. Coming in with the acorn. I'm assuming, Tammaries, are you on Team Squirrel for PML? Is this a Team Squirrel Marble official? Nonetheless, congratulations, Tammaries, on second place. And then, in first place, getting 30 tournament coins, KiraRusalka, coming out of nowhere. Did they even get a win? Did they even get a win the entire competition? They did not. None wins. Tammaries didn't get any wins either. Kira snipes it, playing Moneyball over here, getting those top 10 finishes without ever getting first and taking the victory. So let's do it. Yeah, I mean, it was a mod. And Droska also got fourth, but we're not going to talk about that. We don't need to worry about that. Okay. We don't need to worry about it. At least it wasn't any of the builders. So we're at least distributing the prizes a little bit. I just realized Charlie's still up on the screen. Sorry, Charlie's still talking. All right, so one judge has their numbers locked in. We're going to let the other two judges finalize their scores. I should probably work my jig to make sure everything is as it should be. So let me get this up here. All right, that looks good. I like that. All right, okay. It looks like everyone is locked in, so now I need to make sure I have the order. So it's gonna be like this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. I believe that's the order. And it was a close one. It was a close one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these on screen so y'all can see. I will be sending the competitors these cards. Oh, there it is. Okay. I will be sending the competitors these cards, so they will have access to their scorecards. I'm not going to publish them publicly, but you are free to publish them publicly, just for the sake of y'all having control as to whether or not you want this shared beyond this event. I'm just going to have to do it this way, I guess. That's fine. Okay, so in 5th place, we have the Board Gamers, Rolling Wonder and Meek Man with their Can't Stop game submission. A very strong map with very strong marks, surprisingly. We can go over the score. It looks like it was pretty unanimous across the board. Portals and gates were used quite effectively, getting very decent scores. Obstacles seemed a little lacking, perhaps contributed to the couple stuck marbles runs that they got on that top track. But piece use, very good. Settings, very good. As far as the artistic bracket goes, replication, spot on, very high there. Start and finish, taking a bit of a hit, and I agree. I don't know if there's too much that could have been done with the selection of game, but that was one of the challenges to be considered in the event, so I don't fault the judges there. Do feel like it could have been worked in a little bit better, but only so much you can do with how Marbles is structured. Textures, I agree. I might have given them a little higher marks on textures, but definitely one of their stronger parts of the artistic bracket. Visibility, solid. Environment, solid. And then finally the pathing, the triggers, the motion, all getting pretty decent marks. Again, motion with some stuck marbles might have been part of the qualms there. And then the finishing in the death ball, wrapping it up. So that is going to be the score. 43 from Charlie, 45 from 24 Rocks, and 46 from Fresh Brewed Tea. I do believe that averages out to 44 2/3, if my math is correct. And now we go into 4th place. 4th place is going to be the Grind Trappers with their Mousetrap submission. Getting slightly higher marks here. Charlie with a 47, 24 Rocks with a 50, and Fresh Brewed Tea with a 50. So that's going to average out to what, 49? Something like that? I don't know. Anyway. Portals, getting very strong marks. Gates, looked like the judges found that needed a little bit more work to get the creativity up to the top there. And I could agree there, the gates weren't as strongly featured as the portals were. Obstacles, pretty decent use on average. Piece use, pretty good. Settings, pretty good. Replication, very high marks. Start and finish, also very well integrated, and I agree, those were done quite well. Textures, also pretty good. I feel like those were a little lower. I would like to play around with the textures on that one to see if there was something other than black that could have been used. Maybe even white. I don't know how white would have looked with turning the light down so it wasn't too blinding, but it'd be interesting to see if white could work with the white mice. Who knows? Visibility was good, environment was good, and then finally pathing, very good. Triggers, very good. Motion, a little couple stuck marbles, I'm imagining, costing some point loss there, but then finishing death ball, all getting high marks. So again, very good submission yet again. I don't think there was a bad submission among the bot. All the mobs did pretty well here. So that is that. And just so people know how the scoring works in a little bit more detail before we get to the top 3. You're guaranteed 1 point in every category. So there's a total of 60 points available. From each judge, meaning a grand total of 180 points available. And you're guaranteed 1 point in each category. So you get a 15 by default from each judge, which means you get a 45 base score. So the range is from 45 to 180 is your total score range. So you'll be seeing those scores. So this is 147. That's definitely above average, and I think that reflects the map. I think all the maps were above average, so it definitely reflects the maps here with the scoring. So if you're wondering why the scores are so close and so high, it's because all the maps were really good. Yeah, it's that simple. Let me get a screenshot of this one to make sure I has it. There we go. We did it. Okay. Moving on to our 3rd place finalists. Coming in. It was the Slithering Snakes with their Snakes and Ladders submission. Again, a very close grading here. 49 from Charlie, 50 from 24 Rocks, and 53 from Fresh Brewed Tea, which is an average of 51 1/3, maybe? I have no idea. But portals, very high marks. Gates, very high marks, and I agree. I think they attacked the requirements the most out of all our competitors. You could argue that like using the size 2 or just kind of using the portals and gates where you needed was kind of shying away, just kind of hiding those requirements into the board. I think out of all the submissions, I think this map attacked the requirements head on, made all the requirements very obvious in the map, featured in the map, and really did a great job getting into all the nitty-gritty parts of map building on the technical side of things. Looks like the artistic bracket faltered a little bit there, but again, based on piece use and functionality, that is where those discrepancies lie. So 5s for portals, 5s for gates. Obstacles were a little low, but again, probably came down to piece use in the end, or piece count, I should say, in the end. And then replication, spot on. Start and finish, I agree. A little more could have been done, but with the game itself, all you get is a square. So it'd be interesting to see how you could innovate to make that a little more interesting. With the piece restriction, textures, pretty good. Visibility, I agreed. There were some moments where it's a little hard to see exactly what's going on. That which could have come down to a texture choice or just the glass choice in general. Hard to say. But then back on the functionality, pathing was great. Triggers and motion. Again, I think some people had some different results based on their computers with the physics and all that. So understandable how there was some discrepancy there. But that is that one. So congratulations to the Slithering Snakes, MrHunchBak, and Jake Cliff. Going back to the prizes, that is going to get you 3rd place. Where's the thing? I found it. Nope, that's not it. That's it. So it'll be $30 divided between the two of you. And don't forget, all of the builders today that have been featured will be getting a $5 Steam gift card for the season bundle for next season. So congratulations to all 10 of you for making wonderful maps. Make sure you at least get something for your troubles, so you will be getting the $5 for the season bundle next season. So I'll send you all that info at the end of this event. And now, by process of elimination, we will start with 2nd place. So you'll know who 1st place is, but we're going to start with 2nd place. In 2nd place, we have the Cowboys with their clue submission. That's right, slightly higher marks on this one. Get it in. Charlie with a 50, 24 Rocks with a 55, Fresh Booty with a 55, which I believe is 52 2/3 average score. We got Portals and Gates, not as high marks as the Snakes, so I would agree, not as technically polished as the Snakes and Ladders map, but definitely making up for it in other areas. Obstacles, definitely much better use, both aesthetically and functionally. Piece use was pretty good, settings was pretty good. Replication, spot on, I agree. The start and finish, again, probably a little stronger than the Snakes and Ladders one, but I think it might have been the best integration out of the whole thing, but that was definitely a struggle for everyone to try to make that all work out together. Textures, phenomenal use. Visibility, phenomenal use. Environment was very well done as well. And then finally, the pathing, a little confusing once those marbles get spread out. Not sure if there's much that could have been done to avoid that. But that is how the judges saw it. Triggers, very well done. Motion of the marbles, not a lot of stuck marbles, pretty good. Finishing Death Ball, also getting high marks, so just a solid map. Really worth its 2nd place position there. And that, of course, by process of elimination, leaves the winners of this competition, the 3rd Wicked Shen Builder competition, the board game builder battle. It's the You Sunk My Marbleship team, KiraRusalka and Yorstra. Kira, I believe, already has the builder skin. She's just hoarding them all up. But Yorstra, congratulations on a well-earned builder skin and $90 divided between the two of you. Charlie with the 53. 24 Rocks with a 55. Fresh Booty with a 55. It was a very close judging competition indeed. So that's 54 1/3. Is that correct? I have no idea. Portals, all the marks. Gates, all the marks. I would agree the gates and the portals used very obviously and contributing directly to the functionality of the map, both with the marbles pathing through the portals to hit the ships, and then the gates used to create that turn-based effect. Both done really well. Obstacles also done pretty well. I almost feel like the obstacles weren't as well used in this one as in the other two. But again, it's how the judges see it. Piece use solid, settings solid, and then finally a replication right on the marks. Start and finish, again, a little weak, and I think that was the biggest struggle for all our competitors today. So they did lose some points there, but textures, I can't agree more. Definitely the best texture use out of all the submissions. Visibility and environment, also very well done. And finally, pathing, could have used a little bit more work. Triggers, solid. Motion, solid. Finishing a death wall, solid. So they just hit all the categories as well as they could. I don't think they did any one thing better than the other competitors, other than maybe the texture use. But again, that's what's nice about these rubrics and about these competitions, is it's not going to just be one thing that gets you the victory. It's not just going to be the best looking map or the best working map. It's going to be that wonderful, rounded approach to hitting as many things as you can on the checklist. So congratulations to all our competitors, and specifically to Yorstra and KiraRusalka, taking it home today for the Builder Competition number 3. Thank you again for everyone watching. Thank you. We're going to jump into our judges real quick, just to see how it's going, if they have any parting words before we end the video portion of this stream, and then we will continue on with the after party. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I apologize. You done missed out. Judges, we're coming in. Boom! Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So,
Hello. Hello.
Anything you would like to say for the wrapping up of this phenomenal competition with 5 phenomenal maps?
Thank you for the rubric, because without that, I wouldn't have been able to place them.
That's why we have it. That's why we have the rubric.
All of the maps were just amazing today.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah, very good, very well done recreations. I felt every time we loaded in, we were like, it was the game, and
Yes.
each of the people absolutely killed it with their creativity.
I agree.
Yeah, it was an amazing competition. Like, the level was so high.
All right. Well, again, thank you all 3 judges. Charlie, formerly known as Charlie's Peculiar Stuff, 24 Rocks, and Fresh Brewed Tea. Y'all doing wonderful things in your own rights in the building world, and glad to have you all judge in this competition. Hope you all have a good one. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Wicked Sin, for once again putting together a wonderful competition. And we will see you all on the next one.